Good morning, everyone. Welcome for this Formula Student 2025 endurance event. Right now, starting in the moment, we have Bucharest UPB Drive's car warming up the engines with Catalin, entering the track right now as you see him on the screen. We started very on point with a little delay. We had some problems on the internet over the night, but we see the car right now crossing the starting line for this endurance lap. For this endurance 20-something laps that we will be doing today here in this circuit in Dej. Bogdan is at the wheel, sorry, that was my mistake. I thought Catalin was on the wheel. We had wrong information, but Catalin just appeared next to me in here to make sure that we were okay, and he was not on the wheel. If he would have been on the wheel, we would have had serious problems right now, because I would have double vision probably, which would not be surprising after last night. In any case, we have a fantastic day of motorsport ahead. We will be with you all morning, and we are expecting 4 teams to be competing in this live endurance event today. First car competing, as we told you, is the Hybrid 169, is Bucharest UPB Drive's car. And in order to help me with the commentary today, we have Stefan with us, leader of the chassis department. Car 169 passing in front of us, completing the first lap of this first track. And the car seems to be running smooth this morning. How are you, Stefan? How is the morning going?
Good morning, Albert. I'm fine. Yeah, a little bit emotion. Obviously, the adrenaline is running high because of everything that's happening around here at the moment. But we are confident with the work that we did all year, so we hope for the best.
You seem a little excited. There is a bit of nervousness in the air.
Yes.
You had some problems yesterday during the autocross sessions, and I know that you've been working overnight to solve them.
Yes.
Tell us a bit more about them. What happened yesterday in the autocross?
Yesterday we had a little bit of an issue with one of the sensors, which messed up a little bit the electrical system. But as you said, we worked a lot during the night, and especially this morning as well from the first hour. And now everything should be fine and dandy for the endurance.
And indeed, it seems to be working fine as we see the car pass in front of us for the second lap, completing the second lap of this endurance event. Bogdan at the wheel. Tell us something about Bogdan.
Bogdan, I met him 2.5 years ago, before he entered the team, and he was one of the nicest encounters of a future member, because before he even gave us an interview or filled up the entry form, he was already on the track with us testing the RO4, the car from 2023. He stayed up in the sun all day long without even being a team member, and that day I realized that he's a guy who's willing to give everything for a good cause. So we knew at that time that he's going to be a valuable asset for our team.
Indeed, we can see that right now on the track, where he's driving smoothly on these first laps of the endurance event. The tires are still getting warmed up. It's hot this morning, but it's not as hot as it was yesterday afternoon during the endurance event. How are we expecting the performance of the car to be today?
We're going to take everything step by step. As you said, it's still quite cold. The night was really chill, and obviously we need to warm up the tire really well. We set up the pressures as fine as we could for this. So the first few laps, I expect them to be a little bit slower and more careful. But as Bogdan will build up the confidence in the car, I guess we will see faster lap times.
This is maybe why you're putting Catalin as your second pilot. He's known to be completely reckless during his driving, no? He's the destroyer of wheels. The destroyer of tires, sorry, not wheels. And should we expect Catalin to be faster than Bogdan?
Not necessarily. Both of them are very good drivers, very capable. They have their own unique styles, and as you said, Catalin is a more aggressive driver. But as you can hear, Bogdan doesn't really have a lot of mercy for the car either. So I expect them to perform very well. They are both well rested, and they trained a lot for this. So yeah, I expect them to both to perform as good as possible.
That is a horribly politically correct answer, which is something that we don't really do in this Formula Student Balkans. We're trying to assess in here if Stefan had a preference between the two pilots that we will driving the endurance today for the Formula Student, but apparently we could not get an answer. So let's do something. Go into the live stream whenever the link is up and running and tell us who is your favorite Formula Student driver for the UPB team. Because we want to know, we want to create animosity between them, we want to create competition, we want to make sure that nobody lives here as they came. We are in everything for the show, and we see right now Bogdan coming in on the fourth lap in front of us. He passed on the third lap very cleanly, and he seems to be looking good right now. The car seems to be doing good. He's starting to catch up a bit of speed as the laps go on. Tires are certainly getting in better shape. And of course the temperature is also picking up in here. Very, very light winds today, so it's something to be enjoying. What do you think about the experience in this competition versus last year's?
I can't really talk about last year because last year I wasn't present here. But comparing
That's why I asked, because you should have been.
I know I should have been. But compared to the stories from everyone, and especially from my experience of 2 years ago, I definitely can see a great upgrade. I obviously like a lot the fact that everything grew, the fact that people strive for a lot more, that everything tries to be as professional and as close to other great competitions from the rest of Europe. So we're looking for even more from you guys.
And we like to hear that. We like to hear that as we see Bogdan passing in front of us for the sixth lap, if I counted correctly. 5 or 6. We're not really very good at counting in here in this live stream squad. We have 2 guys that are taking care of the timing today for us, so we do not really care about the number of laps that they are doing. That is somebody else's job. We only see the results on the screen as they appear, and the timing seems to be quite consistent so far. He's yet not pushing the car at the speeds in which Catalin managed to do the autocross yesterday. But it is normal not to want to push a car that has not proven itself in the endurance event, considering that you managed to finish only last year the first endurance events, correct?
That is correct.
Are we expecting to see the same performance repeat? Any big problems that you managed to fix overnight that would give you headaches right now?
I wouldn't say that we have anything on the car that will give us any nervousness. I think that everything should be working perfectly on the car, so we don't really have any emotions for this endurance event.
We saw as the car passed in front of us that the brake light seems to be blocked on. That was the problem that rendered your autocross yesterday with some problems, but apparently it's fixed itself. So we are good. We're good. We're looking good. A bit of a scare in here. We did not know if the BRS was working properly, but basically we want to make sure that everything is fine with your car. We want to make sure that you finish endurance. Not that we can do absolutely anything, but we know that you and the team did everything they could to do that. So in any case, it's a pleasure always having a car on the track. It's always a pleasure to having being hosting you in this event. It's a pleasure to have all the teams in here in the campsite also doing everything. And just tell us something about the nightlife in this Formula Student 2025. And I don't mean the party, I mean the repairs of the car that you've been doing every day until the pit stop.
Yes, the nightlife is amazing here, especially if you are on a tight budget. So I guess the judges on Cost Report will appreciate that, because Our strategy is work until the pits close, and not really that until all the track marshals are pushing us literally physically outside of the pits, because then we are so tired that we only need to drink 1 or 2 beers and we pass out. So that means less money spent on beer.
That seems very good. We see that the marshals are particularly attentive right now at the rear end of the car. We saw that the back brake light was doing something weird when it passed in front of us on the last track. But it seems to be continuing, which means that it seems to be working fine at the moment, which is good. We like to see the cars see finish endurance. We like to see the reliability being proven. And of course, safety is of utmost importance in this regard. What improvements are to be expecting for next year in this DR07 car? I imagine that you will be naming it.
Yes, that should be the plan.
And what improvements are we to be expecting by then?
To be honest with you, we still need to test a lot more the car. But we already have some kind of a plan for the upgrades of next year. Don't expect to see any radical changes, because, as you said, the reliability is something very important in Formula Students. So we will want to keep everything as tight as possible. So probably we won't jump on radical changes.
That looks like a safe and nice approach. In any case, thank you, Stefan, for having been in this short talk with me today, this morning, as your car is in the circuit. I saw that your attention was completely focused elsewhere, which is normal. You have a car running the endurance, and that is always some very tense moments that we have in here, but the car is performing very good. Everything seems to be working so far, which is the most important thing on the event. As we see the car on the 7th or 8th lap, we already lost count. Time passes very, very fast when you are in here just enjoying such a very nice performance. Don't worry, everything will be fine. Thank you for being with me today.
Thank you as well.
And I'll see you around in here during the day.
Yes, we'll be looking forward to that.
Thank you, Stefan. Thank you for being with us. We see UPB Drive's car still completing right now on the 11th lap in this endurance event. Timings are very consistent. He's not pushing the car. He's going on between 1 minute 10 seconds and 1 minute 16 seconds. That's the interval of timing. Very consistent timing. He's consistently pushing the car. You can really tell that he's right now ice cold and focusing on completing the 14 laps that he will be doing until the drivers change. At the same time, we have R2 preparing their car to enter the track. They are at the scrutineering tent, and they are still TSAL green, so they are still performing the mechanical scrutineering to enter this endurance event. While we see UPB Drive's 169th car passing in front of us in this 11th lap. The fixes that they did yesterday seem to be working so far. Let's not jinx it, but everything looks very good. Cluj is being pushed onto the entering point of this racetrack. Maximum concentration also for the guys in Cluj, which are running their first ever endurance event in this Formula Student Balkans 2025 Endurance Live Event competition. And we just got the red light, which means that the car is live, which means that we're expecting to enter the track any moment now. We see Dennis preparing with the green flag. Maximum concentration. We're building up. We are learning also, and we're building on yesterday's shortcomings. Getting better every day. Doing things as safe as possible. We're not in a rush this morning. We're running on point with the schedule. And the UPB Drive passing in front of us in this 12th lap, for which is going on to the last turn right now. And across the finish line on this 12th lap, we will have the timing for you very, very soon. basically we have one other 116 lap, keeping it very, very, very consistent. I mean, 4-second time interval between these 12 laps that UPB Drive has been doing. And the car is coming to a halt. No, he's not. He seems to have catched the cone, maybe something on the first hairpin turn, but he's continuing. He's continuing the 13th lap. He has a cone instead, indeed, catched on the front wheel, in the front wing, sorry. And he's dragging it along the track. It seems not to be bothering him too much. He just slowed down a little bit more as he's completing this 13th lap. We will see if he will manage to expel the cone. But the cone is part of the livery right now. It's perfectly centered on the bodywork. And it's basically an arrow pointing upwards. It's definitely one of the colors of the UPB Drive. And the cone is out. He managed to push the cone out of the back of the car. It's clear, completing the 13th lap, a slightly slower lap. Maybe we could pick the cone in there, not make it one additional test for this endurance track. We see that the marshal now is not running to pick up the cone as the safety procedures indicate. As we see Bogdan successfully crossing the first hairpin in this 14th lap. We're expecting the driver change to be occurring at any moment after the ending of this lap. And we see the marshal examining the cone. Please, can you give us a report, thumbs up or thumbs down, if the cone survived the impact? So, but we are good. It seems to be still round, and it's going back into the pack. Congratulations, cone, you survived. And congratulations, Bogdan, for continuing this fantastic event. As we see some smoke building up along the track, we have very, very, very heavy traffic in here, as we are preparing for Bogdan to pass in front of us for the last time in this endurance event. On this 14th lap, accelerating towards the last corner. And we see the checkerboard flag completing half of the endurance event for Bucharest. In the meantime, we are expecting the green light for Artu Cluj any moment now, as the car has cleared the first part of the circuit going into the first hairpin, and we will see him pulling into the scrutineer's tent for the post-scrutineering, well, mid-scrutineering, half-scrutineering, pre-half scrutineering, and the pilot change, of course. You're not doing scrutineering at the pilot change? No? That is amazing. Thank you, guys. We hate scrutineering. We know that we need it. We know that we need the cars to be safe. But it's one of the most tense and horrible moments for everybody in here when we are watching the cars pull into the stop. So we're being informed that there will not be scrutineering during the pilot change, which is very good news, because it means that we will have the car on the track way earlier than we would have expected. As we see Bucharest car completing the slalom in here, second to last corner, and entering the driver's change location. We have the green flag for Cluj, and we will start the endurance, the first ever endurance event for E017s for Artu Cluj-Napoca, accelerating through the starting line, marking the beginning of the first lap on this endurance event. Miata was shitting his pants here, Stefan, when we were doing the interview. I think you saw it in his voice. He's usually way more expeditive, but he was very, very nervous to see what would happen with the car that performed so far so good. Very good in this endurance event. In the moment, we have on the track Artu Cluj-Napoca's E017. That's an electric vehicle. How do we know it's an electric vehicle? Very simple. The police will fine you if you go over 30 kilometers per hour on a sidewalk. because that's basically an electrical scooter. It makes absolutely no noise as he's crippling down on us, completing slowly this first lap. Slowly, I mean that it takes time. Onto the last corner of this first lap, and completing the first lap ever on the endurance event for Artu Cluj-Napoca's E017 electric vehicle. With me today, this morning, to make the time pass faster, basically for me, because I don't give a shit if you are bored or not. You are looking at the track and you are having fun. Is Bogdi, is one of the team members of Artu Cluj-Napoca. Good morning, Bogdi. How are you?
Good morning, guys. We're fine.
How are the nerves this morning? How are you keeping your eye still hand while you see your teams performing in the first ever endurance event in here?
Of course, it's emotional for us. It's since our first endurance event, but for us, we know what we've done. We know what we got to do. So we're keeping it cool for the moment. We're just waiting to see what our guy does on the track.
Tell us a bit more about the car that you are running this year. This is the first car ever to pass scrutineering. This is the first car ever to pass all the dynamic events so far. There are a lot of firsts for the team in this season, and we are very, very lucky to be the first event you are participating this season. So basically, you are running the first ever dynamic events very, very close to home. So tell us a bit about the car.
Yeah, so for us, it's a first for us. So doing it at the home track, so close to our home, and being it a Romanian competition, it's very special for us. So since we can see the car running for the first time in dynamic events, it's also a bonus. So after long years of dedicating time and effort and struggles, we've come to this point of having a race-ready car that can pass all scrutineering and can perform in each dynamic event. So for us, it's a really big step.
Anything to be nervous about today? Anything we should be nervous about today?
I don't know. Let's see. I currently have no nerves about anything, so we're keeping it cool. And maybe like our second driver is a bit spicier than this.
I'll say your second driver might be a bit spicier than this, but you need to manage the battery life, of course. I mean, you're running an electric vehicle. The endurance event is very harsh on the batteries for this type of cars, as we see in all Formula Student competitions. Your pilot is doing fine. He's doing 125 on the first lap and 121 on the second lap. We will see if he's keeping this consistency. We have some idiots behind us in the back, but it happens when you have a car that is too silent. That is a bad sign for any car. The moment one of the team members needs to be behind you pretending that the car makes noise to look like a car. In any case, the ride is very smooth. Catalin entering the racetrack right now for the second half of the endurance event in this 2025 Formula Student Balkans. Accelerating strongly as we see Artu Cluj on the far end of the circuit. Tell us something about the pilot.
So Andrei here, our first pilot, he's the first year in the Formula Student team, and he's part of a vehicle dynamics department. He was in charge of the motor control strategies, and overall he's a really dedicated guy. He likes doing this type of things, and we've discovered his pace. Like he was a good driver when we were going in our karting sessions. We have karting sessions for all of our team drivers and all of our team members. So
we want the dirt. We're not doing these interviews because we want information about anything. We want the dirt. We want to see what are the dirty secrets that you are covering up in this beautiful livery of this E017 car. Give us some dirt on Andrei.
I got no dirt on him.
First year in Formula Student, this could be. How do you like so far the competition? How do you see your next steps this season on Germany, right? Are you going after this competition?
Yeah, we're going to Germany next. We have some steps to catch up things. We have some feedback from here, but we're looking at the right path. So pretty confident for that. We're expecting to go there to get good feedback, to have an amazing experience, and just keep on building our momentum as a team. So that's our plan for the next competition.
Anything that changed after seeing the car run the dynamic events in here this time in terms of objective for this season? Did you have any of those moments in which you say, hey, we would like to see something else happening that we had not anticipating in terms of let's be more ambitious in the objectives?
So for now, we're pretty much in line with our season objectives. We just want to have a reliable car, which we can understand and we can pass scrutineering and can compete in dynamic events. So as far as it goes right now, it's pretty good for us. As of now, we're just looking minor setups, but nothing out of the ordinary for us.
Cluj consistently pushing times that are in the whereabouts between 121 and 125 as we see UPB drives catching up with the car. We see the blue flag which we were expecting at any moment right now, indicating that Cluj will be yielding a step to UPB drives as we see them overtake. This is normal procedure in Formula Student. When we have a slower car, we make sure that our safety overtakes. We have 2 overtake zones in this circuit, one after the first turn and one before the last 2 hairpins that we have in this circuit in here. In any case, both cars seem to be doing very good. Catalin has picked up a bit the pace. Cluj is still maintaining a very consistent timing on the 120s, on the lower 120s, between 120 and 123 is what we're seeing so far. So now, as Catalin is pushing the throttle a bit more aggressively in the 113s, we know that Bucharest car is already warmed up, the tires are warm after already 16 laps in this endurance track. But Cluj is doing very good, he's doing very well. The car silently and very smoothly covering everything. Your car this year seems to be extremely smooth, seems to be a very good cornerer. You seem to still have work to do on the acceleration events. You had quite slow acceleration for an electric vehicle, but it's your first car ever. What are the next steps in terms of powertrain? What are to be expecting for next year in terms of the improvements in the powertrain?
So for next year, we're dealing with that to increase the power of the powertrain. So currently we're running on limitations due to battery and inverters. So for next year, we're just looking on boosting up the power a bit and just keeping on developing. So we're finding along the way. As you said, it's a first car, so it's the first car that is running for us. So we're going along the way to just get up bugs in the powertrain system and just keep on. It's in a safe space for now. So the power for the car, it's in a safe space, and as you can see, it's quite consistent.
That's very good to know. It's very good to know that next year we will be having something more than a Toyota Prius in the track from Cluj this year. Something that can really accelerate, something that can really make us shiver when it goes through the acceleration, something that gets a bit of wheel spin, something that gets our juices flowing whenever we see the acceleration. In any case, very clean racetrack by Andrei on this E017 as he's coming to pass in front of us on the 7th lap of this endurance event, keeping consistent timing. We saw a slightly slower 6th lap because of the overtaking that took place, but we will have for you the results of the 7th lap any moment now. In any case, thank you very much, Bogdi, for being with us today this morning.
Thanks a lot, guys. Just see you around.
We'll see you around. It was a pleasure to have you here, and definitely we will keep you showing more motorsport as we have 2 cars on the track. We have right now the team from Hoff at the scrutineering, at the press scrutineering, still with the TSAL green, still doing some checks, making sure that everything is safe to enter the circuit. We don't know if we will have 3 cars in parallel or if they will be waiting for one of the cars to complete either the driver's change or to complete the endurance. In any case, everything seems to be running smooth so far. Catalin passing in front of us. Let's not jinx it. Let's not even think of jinxing it as both cars are rolling. That is what counts. That is what looks good. And we will have for you more fun this morning. The moment that the Hoff interviewer comes to join us in a bit late as their car enters the track. In the meantime, Cluj resuming the timing of 1:21 in the 7th lap and passing in front of us, completing the 8th already. He has picked up the pace, keeping a very, very consistent timing also in the range of 4 seconds, while Bucharest is consistently pushing a bit more the car in the 1:13 to 1:16 range. So we are seeing that both drivers that are running on the track are going at a very, very constant pace every lap to lap. And we don't know if we will be expecting that until the end of the race, or we will have a bit more risks coming onto the final laps of the event. In any case, this is an endurance event. What is important is to complete endurance. What is important is to compete all the 28 laps that we will have in here, not to do anything else rather than that. Any time is a bonus. We have Andrei passing in front of us with the E017 electric vehicles. You didn't hear it? Don't worry, neither did I. We just know that the car is rolling because it's moving. It could be moving due to the wind at this moment. It could be a wind-powered car. It would still make the same noise. As it's completing the last corner of this 9th lap already, the laps seem to be flying at this moment. We do not know where the fuck they were. Bucharest is on the 20th lap already. Slightly slower timing by Catalin on this lap, 1:17. He's not yet pushing the car, if he's intending to do so at any moment along the track. And if he's not, it's still a good, safe choice to go for a complete endurance rather than any other problems. No cones yet clipped by any of the two drivers that are right now in the field. But we know that that is the pleasure of Bogdan, the first of the pilots for the UPB drive. So we are not expecting anything to happen everywhere, as the car turns and passes in front of us in this 21st lap. Hoff still on the press scrutineering, but we told you that we are not sure that we will see 3 cars in parallel on the racetrack, even if we have 2 overtake zones. Cluj on the first corner. No, sorry, that was Bucharest on the first corner. Cluj is on the last hairpin and passing the last gate and coming around in front of us. Very, very consistent acceleration profiles. He's not pushing the car. Cluj told us that they do not have a very, very performance in acceleration, and we managed to saw that in the acceleration event 2 days ago. But the car is running very smoothly. The car is fast. It's just a matter of draining more power from the batteries at the same time. It's about discharge rate and power management rather than endurance. So you heard Bogdi, there are no nerves right now by the Cluj team members. There are no nerves because they are basically from Ardeal. Ardeal is a region of Romania in which people seem to have absolutely no feelings at all because they are so slow that nobody cares on anything. We see right now UPB Drive completing the 22nd lap in this endurance event, 22nd out of 28. We remind you that we have 14 laps, a driver's change, and then 28 laps. And afterwards, the post-scrutineering. Let's never, never forget in an endurance event the post-scrutineering, because the scrutineers will render the car to be safe to drive after the event is what makes the timing complete. As we see Cluj coming onto the last corner under the 11th lap. Bucharest coming onto the last hairpin in this 23rd lap, passing in front of us, not pushing the accelerator too much. He's keeping it consistent. He's keeping the racetrack clean. Lines are clean. You can tell that we're running an endurance. You can tell that we're running an endurance for two teams that know that their weakest points is reliability. For Cluj, because they have never run an endurance event in an official competition. I'm sure they have tested the endurance event during their training season. And for Bucharest, exactly the same. They've tested the endurance event during testing, but Bucharest is always characterized for having reliability problems in the endurance in previous years. We want to see an improvement in this regard, but you can see on the faces of all the team members that everybody is now clenching their teeth, squeezing their butt cheeks. Nothing is coming out any of the ends, expecting for the performance to be over successfully, as we are in here. We see Bucharest completing the 24th lap in this endurance event, while Cluj is mid-track right now on the 13th lap. Coming onto the last slalom and onto the last hairpin in this very fantastic dash track in the TNT karting, coming onto the second to last corner and the last tricky bit part of this circuit. There is a very nice slalom in there, a very nice S in that turn, and completing the 13th lap. We will be expecting the drivers change for Cluj the moment they complete the current lap. And we have Bucharest coming onto the slalom in here in front of us. Bucharest passing once again in front of us. It's like we've seen this car run for a very long time right now, but we like it, we love it. 25th lap completed for Bucharest, keeping the timing slightly slower than Bogdan did. He's not pushing the car. The car seems to be performing very good right now and very consistent in timing. Very consistent in timing means that the pilot is feeling the car good and is capable of keeping the timings clean and under control. Cătălin has been on the last 6 laps doing all the timings within 1 second difference. So Swiss precision. While we see Cluj passing in front of us for one last time in this endurance event first half. We see the checkerboard flag, and Cluj has completed the first driver segment of this endurance track. We will see the car coming onto the driver changes position next to the scrutineers when they complete this first lap. Bucharest is coming in front of us one more time on this 26th lap. The last tricky bit on the last corner and passing, completing the 26th lap. Very consistent timing for Cluj, we already told you that, but Andrei seems to be also from Swiss descendant. We have 2 pilots right now that may be both from Zurich. They are keeping timings within 2 seconds. Not even the fucking Swiss are capable of doing that. As we see Cluj coming in front of us for the last 2 hairpins before he will enter the driver's change. One last bit of slalom. There we go, left and right, left and right. Swim like a baby shark, and we are pushing into the driver change, successfully completing 50% of the endurance event in their first ever endurance event that Cluj has been running. We are very, 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 very excited and happy to see Cluj first dynamic events performance ever in their history home here in Dej, here in Transylvania. We're just 1 hour away driving from Cluj, or as the Cluj team members told us, whenever there is no police, you can get here in half an hour. Cătălin passing the last corner onto the 27th lap and coming onto the first slalom of this track, and then on the last corner. This is the beginning of the season for both teams that we have right now in here. Is their first competition this season. They will each be performing in other competitions, of course, this summer season of Formula Student. Cluj will be going to Formula Student Germany 3 weeks from now or 2 weeks from now. Who cares? It's not Balkans. We don't care about the schedule anymore. And Bucharest will be going to FS Czech and then to Italy for 2 more events. One exactly the week after this, and the other one in September. I think that Italy is happening beginning of September. As we see Catalin already completing half of the circuit. Catalin coming in front of us on this 28th lap, last tricky bit of the circuit, and we see the checkerboard flag. Bucharest completing the endurance event. Well, Bucharest completing the 28 laps of the endurance event, and now we will have the hatred coming on from the scrutineers as the car will pull on to the post-scrutineering tent. Scrutineers, if you fail any of the cars after passing the endurance event, we will take your balls and make kiftele out of them. Yes, kiftele is the Romanian word for meatballs, but it's a funnier one. As we see the green flag for Cluj entering the second half of this endurance event. Manika said the wheel coming onto the starting point of this second half of the endurance event. He just crossed the finish line, well, the starting line. As we see Catalin swindling by, he completely let off the acceleration pedal. He's not in a hurry anymore. We are not timed anymore. We just want to see the car pull in and out of the scrutineering. And you will hear the excitement around us the moment that they complete, which we are completely sure will happen. As we see the scrutineers coming on, telling him to slow down. He does not want to slow down. He's excited. We're very happy to see the car being able to pull into the post-scrutineering tent on its own power. Judges immediately jumping onto the car. Scrutineer, sorry, immediately jumping onto the car. Checking the wheels. Checking that nothing has come loose. Catalin is praying right now. As Cluj is coming around to pass in front of us for the first time in the second half of the endurance event. We will be seeing the 15th lap timing in a moment. We see that the driver is really not pushing it right now. He's getting a feel of the car, he's getting a feel of the track, and of course the tires got a bit colder when they did the driver's change, so we will expecting him to pick up the pace slowly afterwards throughout the endurance, unless he has battery problems, which we hope he will have not. 1:26 in this first lap, which is completely consistent with the first lap that Cluj did on the first part of the endurance. As we see the scrutineers checking ground clearance on Bucharest car. If we see them doing ground clearance, it means that they rendered the dynamic systems already nice and clean. And we'll see what happens. One car on the track, as we see Oulu on the refueling station. We're expecting Hoff, though, to be entering next. We are going on reverse order from the autocross. We see some movement in the guys from Hoff, but we still do not see the car in here around. We saw the car early on being pulled next to the scrutineering tent. We didn't know if it was just for prior checks or for the pre-scrutineering before entering the racetrack. In any case, Cluj is completing right now the 16th lap, coming onto the last corner. And we'll have the timing for you very, very soon. Oulu seems to be preparing to enter the scrutineering right now. In the meantime, we have Cluj on the far end of the track. Cluj passing in front of us as we see Oulu getting ready for the green flag in here. We have Oulu preparing on the green flag. Cluj coming onto the last corner of this track as Oulu has already started the engine. Completing the 18th lap by Cluj in their E017. Revving up the car, we're waiting for the green flag any moment now. Benjamin is on the wheel of this Oulu's 198 car. And we have green flag. Clutching into gear and starting with the characteristic aggression that this car is known for. Yesterday, Lauri, the second pilot that will be flying the endurance today, and Bucharest has successfully passed the post-scrutineering, completing the endurance event. In this Formula Student 2025 is the first car to enter the track, the first car to complete the endurance. And of course we want to see all 4 cars complete the endurance event today in here. There are nerves. We could see the nerves of the team members from Bucharest as they were waiting for the final verdict of the scrutineers. And now they will be pulling the car into the refueling station, we imagine, to defuel the car. While we see the E017, the pilot just gave us a thumbs up as he was passing in front of us. Banica gave a thumbs up. He really likes how the car is performing at the moment. He just completed the 19th lap and we will be expecting the timing very soon. Right now, as we see Oulu's car passing in front of us with a bit of acceleration to be completing the first lap in this endurance event for Oulu's team. We have the first timing from Oulu with their characteristic sharpness on the circuit. Here they managed to pull the 1:06 today in this first lap of the endurance event. And the tires are not even warm, so we will be expecting faster and faster times as the car warms up. Oulu already catching up with, slowly catching up with Cluj. So we will be expecting anytime soon a blue flag in order to signal for the overtaking. It may be though on the second portion of this track, not on the first overtake area. As Oulu flies by on the second lap of this endurance racetrack on the TNT karting here in Dej. Again, as always, if you don't know where is Dej, don't worry, we don't either. Oulu is already catching up with Cluj. We see both cars already in parallel, and we see the marshals preparing the blue flag, of course, to signal Cluj to slow down and let Oulu overtake in the second overtaking zone that we have prepared for you in this circuit. Blue flags being signaled on the segment of the circuit leading to the overtake area. And Oulu is off. He managed to overtake Cluj safely, as always. We have green flag for Cluj. Very clean overtaking overall in here. As we see Oulu flying by in front of us for a third time, completing the third lap in the circuit. Cluj also passing us by in front, coming onto the last zigzag of this last curve and completing their 21st lap. 1:06, 1:05 and 1:09 are the timings so far for Oulu. We saw that 1:09 because they had to slow down a little bit to overtake Cluj in this second overtake zone. In the meantime, we're seeing Oulu's and Cluj team members behind the scrutineering area. If you don't know to tell which is which, don't worry. You can tell them, you can sort them out by the color and by the umbrellas that the Finnish guys are always pointing towards the sun, covering themselves. Oulu finishing the second zigzag in this circuit and accelerating in front of us. Completing the fourth lap in this endurance event right now. We will be expecting any moment now to start seeing activity in the preparation area, at least for Hoff. And Oulu's picking up the pace. He's going on to the 1:03 times, which is consistent with their best times in the autocross yesterday. The car is a wonder, is fantastic to be looking upon. Coming across the second slalom of this racetrack. Last gate. Second to last corner and passing in front of us again. Very few details we have yet so far for this Oulu's endurance in this 2025 Formula Student Balkans event, as we will be having the interview with their team members a bit later through the event when they finish the endurance. The person that will be joining us for the interview is the media guy, the media girl that is taking care of the pictures right now on the track. So she will be coming along later to give us more information on their car, their team, their performance, and of course some dirty shit that we want to know every time that we have a car on the racetrack. We saw Cluj completing the 17th lap a moment ago and coming on to Oulu on the last corner, keeping it very, very, very tight and clean. .102 for this last lap that Oulu did, for the sixth lap. So already Oulu is running faster than the autocross, which is something that we always expect in the endurance whenever the car is performing well, because there is more time for the tires to get up to temperature. 1:02 is the fastest lap that we've seen throughout this competition in this event, while Cluj is completing the 24th lap, keeping the times very, very consistent. We will most likely see an overtaking happening very, very soon on the track, as Oulu is quickly catching up with Cluj again. Already both cars on the main straight. And indeed we are seeing blue flags on the circuit as Oulu is catching up with Cluj, being signaled to stop in this first overtake area, and is already overtaken. We see another green flag, and this was a very seamless overtaking happening this time. This happened because Oulu managed to catch Cluj in a portion of the track that was closer to an overtake area. We remind everybody that overtaking is not allowed on Formula Student unless on designated areas. This is because these are not high-performance, multi-million-dollar Formula One race cars. They are student-made, student engineer marvels running on the track right now, but safety is the utmost concern. Real racing pilots do not give a shit about their lives, but in here we care about them. So we are not letting them put themselves or anybody else in danger. This is why we have created, as the regulations observe already, some overtake zones that allow for the maximum safety in this circuit. Consistent timing, another one lap by Oulu with a timing of 1 minute 2 seconds, keeping it faster and faster every time. We see a progression in their timing. They started at 1:06 and they dropped very quickly to 1:03 and 1:02 that we are seeing right now. Means that the tires are getting warm and the pilot is confident that the car is behaving as he's expecting. We remind everybody that Oulu is on the 9th lap right now, while Cluj is on the 26th. Coming onto the last corner, and again accelerating for this shortened straight line onto the first slalom, completing the 9th lap for Oulu. With another 1:02 is the 4th lap in which Oulu manages a 1:02 timing, keeping it extremely consistent, which means that the pilot is not pushing the car more than he knows what it can take. He's keeping it at the pace in which he feels confident, while Cluj passes in front of us on this 26th lap. Another more lap, one more lap as Oulu passes in front of us and accelerates to the finish lap, to the finish point of this 10th lap. Cluj did the 25th lap that was slightly slower, and that was because of the overtake, but we see them consistently in the 120s, 121 for their last lap. So I'm sure that the battery is starting to feel the stress of this endurance event, but it seems to be holding up pretty well. It seems that the car is not slowing down yet. We hope the car will not slow down until the moment it pushes onto the post-scrutineering. We will see the timing of this lap, completing the 27th lap on this track, and already Oulu catching up with Cluj on this 11th lap. 121 again for Cluj, which means that they are keeping it consistent, and we see again blue flags on the track as Oulu overtakes again the Cluj team. Cluj team that is on the last lap of this endurance event right now, on the 28th lap. And seems to be running smooth in terms of time. We do not see any big problems in terms of how the timing is progressing, which means that the performance is still consistent with what the pilot expects. And that is a very good sign for the first time in an endurance competition, particularly for an electric car where you cannot just afford having a completely oversized battery because it adds an amount of weight that is incredible. For a combustion car, having a slightly bigger fuel tank does not affect that much the performance of the car, but for an electric car, this is dramatic. Coming across into the last corner of the track for Oulu in this 12th lap, we saw faster and faster timings, and we are already on the 101s for Oulu. As we see Cluj pulling onto the last corner of this endurance event. Last bit of straight, and we see the checkerboard flag for Cluj. Cluj is completing the endurance, has completed the endurance event. He will need to bring now the car safely into the post-scrutineering tent, but he's not in a hurry anymore. We are out of the timing zone. 1:28 in this last lap. We remind everybody that this was an overtake lap. This is why the timing is always slightly higher for them. But we may have already a bit of stress on the battery. Of course, we're expecting stress on the battery, which means that they sized the battery properly. As we see Oulu flying by again in front of us. 1:01 in the last 2 laps that the pilot did. He's consistently picking up the pace as he completes the 13th lap in this endurance event. And as things are running, we will have a brief break the moment that Cluj manages to pull into the post-scrutineering and while Oulu does the driver's change. We are seeing right now a very, very nice motorsporting day here in the TNT karting circuit next to Dej. We see the pilots saluting their team members as he passed in front of them for a very last time in this Formula Student Balkans 2025 and pulling onto the last gate and onto the post-scrutineering. Cluj has completed endurance. Cluj has made it to the scrutineering tent on their own power for the first time ever. Their first endurance event, their first dynamic competition in the Formula Student Balkans. And we see the checkerboard flag also for Oulu completing the 14th lap, signaling that Oulu will be entering the driver's change with a very, very fast and consistent timing. There is a dropped cone on the last corner. Usually it should be the other way around. The marshals should be coordinating, not us them. But we understand their excitement. Watching the cars is way nicer than watching the cones. In any case, we are seeing Hoff being prepared to enter this endurance event. Timo will be the first driver for Hoff. And they are still TSL green and doing the pre-scrutineering checks. We can see the scrutineers pulling on the tires. That is what they do. We told you already last year. Scrutineers basically do 2 things. They push and they pull. Oulu pulling up onto the driver's change area. We are having Lauri now as a second driver for this second half of the endurance event as we turn off the car. This is going to be a swift driver's change for Cluj. And we are giving the green light also to Hoff. Final preparations. While we're waiting for the green flag for Timo to start on this circuit. We have the green flag, but we do not see the red light on the car yet. Now we have it. And now we start. We are on for Hoff Spannung with the RE128 car coming onto the racetrack for the first time today on this endurance event. Coming onto the first slalom and first corner. We have no music anymore, which is a relief considering the sheet music that we were listening as we see Hoff coming to a completion of the first lap in this endurance event today. Passing on to the second to last corner. And we prepared another interview bringing you information from within Hoff's team. Remember, we like the dirty secrets as we complete the first lap of this endurance event for Hoff. We will have the timing for you real soon. But in the meantime, how are you this morning? How are we doing? How are we seeing Hoff's performance in this first lap so far?
So I think we're good this morning. All the drivers are prepared and the car is prepared. We got a quick fix before the endurance, but all in all, it was a good night and we are well prepared for today.
We were expecting you to come before Oulu onto the racetrack. What happened?
We got a quick fix on the electrical side. I don't know it in detail because I weren't in the scrutineering area, but it should be fixed now and then it should be fine for now.
We hope it was fixed. Of course, we like to see the cars, all cars that compete, to complete all the tests. We want competition, and competition is not nice if we do not have cars on the track. The more, the better, always. Like that, as we see Hoff's coming onto the last corner of the second lap of this endurance event. The cam seems to be performing better this morning than yesterday, though. You had a bit of challenges during the autocross, also with the electricals, right?
Yeah, we got a bit of AMS errors, so we got problems with our accumulator, but they should be fixed because we go for a bit less power now, so we don't have to stress for the accumulator, and now it should be going very well. Yeah.
Less stress for the accumulator. These are wise words if you want to compete in an endurance event. An autocross is just a single timed lap, while the endurance event is 28 laps in this 830-meter circuit that we have here in Desh prepared. So that puts a lot of stress in the powertrain, that puts a lot of stress on the battery system, and that puts a lot of stress also on the pilots. Tell us a bit about Timo.
So Timo is in the 6th semester of mechanical engineering in Hoff. It's last year here. He's a driver since the last 2 years, and I think he will do it very well. Also, Niklas, the next driver, is also well prepared for the endurance, and I hope for the best. So, yeah.
We also hope for the best. Now tell us, in confidence, nobody's listening right now. Timo or Niklas, who is your favorite driver out of the two?
I wouldn't say favorite driver, but I know who has the most testing time. I guess there is a dog on the.
There is a dog indeed on the far end of the field. The marshals are chasing it right now. We see still the green flag, which means that the dog is not a danger to the event itself, as it seems to be pulling onto the end of the track. We'll be monitoring the dog in here at National Geographic this morning. But yeah, that's a good thing. That's what happens when you are in the middle of the countryside here in Romania. It's important that it was a dog and it was not a horse or a donkey or whatever. In any case, you were telling us about the drivers, you were telling us about Timo and about Niklas.
Yeah, so Niklas has more testing time, much more testing time, because he's an electrical guy and he does the settings with the inverter and so on. So we have like doubled or third more time for in the car, but with maximum power like yesterday. Both had like 2 hours or something. So that's because we have also trouble in autocross with the wheel spin and so on. But I would say Niklas is more prepared because of more testing time. Yeah.
This is why you put it, I imagine, as a second driver, so he's capable of managing the car after already 14 laps of endurance, which put a stress on absolutely everything that is going on in the circuit right now. We saw an overtake happening at the far end of the circuit. We saw the blue flags, and we saw Oulu overtaking Hoff at a consistent higher rate. But something happened for Hoff. The car came to a stop. Car came to a stop on the track, but he's starting again. He's starting again. He's continuing the endurance run. It might have been a cone. It might have been just a scared of the moment with a cone or something. Very glad that it was nothing that could not happen.
It's a heartbreak every time.
Yes, of course it is. How are your nerves this morning? How are you holding up, seeing your car perform in the endurance?
I am so nervous because it's our first endurance where we expect we can complete it. And as I said before 1,000 times, I hope for the best. So last year we tried endurance in Italy, but we can't finish it. We did like 7 or 8 rounds, but now we are in better shape for sure.
Well, that is important. It's important to know we saw a yellow flag on the track, on the far end of the track, not for Oulu, it seemed to be for Hoff. We'll see what is going on. Maybe there is some debris on the track.
The dog.
Ah, there is the dog again. There is the dog again! Marshals! Get the fucking dog out of the track! Hoff is trying to race in here. And of course, Oulu is succeeding. We have Oulu already on the 19th lap, completing the 19th lap right now as we see Hoff on the 6th lap right now, keeping faster timing, significantly faster timing for Oulu, keeping it consistent in the 1:01, 1:03 interval, while Hoff is running a bit slower, is going on the 1:09, 1:13, and we saw 1:27 when it seemed to have come to a complete stop on the last lap. We are more than happy to see that nothing was wrong and that the driver is pulling into the scrutineering. The driver is pulling into the scrutineering for Hoff. The 1:28 is coming onto the stop after completing the 5th lap. So he was on the 6th lap right now. And we will be expecting a bit more information the moment that we have it. So far we're seeing Oulu completing the 20th lap, and we see that the team members for Hoff are rendering the car safe to touch, so we can see what the problem was. They are telling us that the problem was the overhead red light on top of the pilot. We see that the light is green now. We saw that there was a bit of a lag the moment that the car entered the track. What's your take on that?
So I'm not an electrical guy, so I don't know anything about that, but it was never a problem until now. So maybe our ASO will fix it fastly, but I don't know what's the problem there.
We hope that you will be able to fix the problem. We see that the light is green now, so the problem seems to be only with the red. I'm not also an electrical guy, so for me are just traffic light colors. But
Me also.
for sure the guys that are looking at the car right now know what they are doing, and we hope that they will be able to fix the problem in time so you can complete the endurance. That is the goal today, to complete all 28 laps that we have prepared in here, to get Timo to complete the first 14, and then of course Niklas to do the second 14. And this is what we want to have as in the meantime we have Lauri on the 22nd lap. We see Hoff is preparing to tow the car, which means that they will be going onto the pit lane for extended repairs. Oulu passing in front of us on this 22nd lap. No. Hoff is preparing to enter the track? No? Okay. Okay. They are just backing up. They are telling us now. They are giving us mixed signals in here. And that is because we really wanted them to be able to complete the track. If you want to go with your team members, I will not keep you here. Of course, 100%. I know that this is a hard moment on the emotions right now. nice what you managed to achieve this season.
Yeah.
Let's make it nice. Sorry for the.
Yeah, it's okay.
I mean,
It's our
and,
problem. Yeah. It's our problem.
electrical problems are a fucking bitch all the time. Don't worry, we're good. In the meantime, we see Oulu passing on the 23rd lap on this event, while we see Hoff pulling onto the pit box. Give us a bit more information on the car today. What were your objectives for this season? You still definitely have time to fix the problems and to do some nice performance this season, and we will be following closely to see what you manage. So what are your targets?
So our targets in this season is to fully complete all competitions. So we try to complete Balkans and we try to complete Czech. So to complete the endurance is the biggest goal in any case, but it's not that easy because of electrical stuff, IT stuff, and so on. So the mechanical stuff is the most easy part, I guess, because in the sun when the accumulator heated up, we have big problems. I think it's a problem here. So, but we developed the car on the base of our last car. So we developed especially the aero system. We also try to put more power into the car. So our BMS system is developed as well. So now we have the possibility to try to race with full power, so 80 kilowatts. And for something like the endurance, we try to slow it down to 60 kilowatts. And I think we made a big progress for this car. And also the team is amazing. So nearly like everybody is in the last semester, like 80% are in the last semester. So it will be a challenge for us in the next recruiting events at our university to develop a new team with new members. But as I said, I hope for the best, and the next car will also have a big improvement in it. So we go for in-wheel motors, and that's also a big mechanical and also electrical challenge, and also a financial investment challenge. So the gearing and the motors are very expensive, but in this car, I think we did our best to become everything out of our last car. And I think we did a good job, but the baby problems are still there. So as you have seen, so something like quick fixes before the endurance, something shouldn't happen, but it happens. So we are not perfect. We only from a student team. We don't have that much experience. Only like everybody 3 years, but.
The devil is in the details. The devil is always on the details.
Yeah, for sure.
And what is important is that nothing major is wrong with the car.
Yeah.
And of course, the devil is in the details. The details still fuck you up. They are still fucking up your lap. But they are usually more difficult to control, easier to fix. Best of luck this season.
Thank you.
You have another chance, a very good chance at Czech. It will still be hot. It's good that you know that you have a thermal management challenge ahead of you, but we are wishing you the best of luck. We are sure that you will do better than you managed to do in here, that there will be an upwards progress, and we hope that you will be able to complete all the endurance and all the dynamic events as you are hoping for this season. Thank you very much for being with me today.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you around. You know that we have a party this evening. And even though you did not manage to complete the endurance, you put a very nice performance on the first 5 laps. We saw a very, very clean racetrack by Timo. And we are really hoping to see you next year also coming here for this next event. I know this is not up to you, but even if the team does not decide to bring the car, at least to have you as a volunteer, as you are in the last year in this event.
It would be a goal to be alumni here. So maybe we will see us next year.
And we are preparing to enter the last lap for Oulu. He did a 1:03 on the last lap, slightly more inconsistent, which means that the pilot is trying to push the car to its minimum, and we saw that while pulling 1 minute dead on the 24th lap. In any case, thank you very much for being here with me today, for keeping me company and for watching the racetrack. Do not be mad, do not be upset. This is part of motorsport. This is an engineering challenge, first and last of all. And you've managed something very beautiful, very successful, with a very clean car, with a very good performance in everything. There is challenges ahead, which means that there is always room for improvement, and that is good in engineering. That is very, very good. Best of luck. Have a good day. Have a beer. You are Bavarians. And see you in here later on.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
And we see Oulu completing endurance. We have the Finnish flag for Oulu. We have the 28th timed lap completed. We will see the car pulling to the scrutineering tent. And now we can see Lauri is not in a hurry anymore. He just eased the pedal from the accelerator, taking his time, enjoying these last hundreds of meters of this fantastic racetrack that we have here in Dej. Now he's just having fun. Now he's just posing for the pictures. We will have aerial footage from this run as we can see the drone following up. So follow us on the feed for the endurance this afternoon whenever the internet connection comes back to us. Interview. Oulu on the last corner and preparing to enter the post-scrutineering tent. The scrutineers are already pulling up their pants, telling him to slow down, to ease it down, and coming onto its own power to a full stop, completing the dynamic part of the endurance. We have the car right now on the scrutineering tent. Scrutineers jumped in to check if everything was okay. Catalin, don't move our cameras when they are on the live. Yes, we have a very nice creeping motion of Catalin towards the post-scrutineering tent. And we have a very nice view right now of the action coming on the scrutineering tent while we're expecting the verdict from the judges. We see right now on the track Timișoara completing the 14th lap of the circuit with their TSR-04 car, with the TSR-4 car. They are doing an amazing lap time right now. We see all the marshals already going back to the shadow in here on the tribune. We see event managers happily coming to us. You will be proud of yourself. You managed to pull the endurance event like a Swiss clock. He told us so. We did not believe him for a single second, but basically he killed our nerves with this rushing pace of cars along the track. Andrei is here with me right now. He wants to pick up the mic.
I want to thank all the volunteers for helping us with a good marshalling post. I want to thank all the media team that are doing a really great job for this event. And I want to thank especially the teams that are here and our sponsors.
A lot of thanks by Andrei to everybody. He's the expert of thanking people when he's on camera and of shouting at them when he's offline. But that's part of the job. That's what event management means. It means that you are managing a bunch of idiots that are flocking around always on the wrong place. And of course, we thank them a lot, blah, 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 bullshit, but they are always in the wrong position and doing the wrong stuff. So it's very hard to coordinate that pack of sheep. We see still Oulu on the post-scrutineering. We're waiting for the go-ahead. And as you can see right now on the screen, we have a last lap that is showing up from years, months, days, weeks. It's giving us information from the beginning of the universe so we can know what the fastest lap was and what the last lap was. But there is a huge amount of effort being put into the timing, into the live timing. So we are more than happy to have this information brought up to you. We managed to put pictures of your favorite pilots on the bottom of the screen so you know who you can jerk off to when you are watching the cars go around the track. We have Lauri on the wheel, still waiting for the fucking scrutineers to give him the green light to let him go home. And they're good. They finished. We are nice. Oulu has finished the endurance event and the post-scrutineering. He will be going into the refuel station for the defueling. And finally, and with a lot of delay, we're waiting for the princess of Oulu, self-named. Vlada is here with us to talk about the performance of the team. I thought you would be coming when you had been summoned, which is when the car was on the track, instead of keeping me hanging for like 25 minutes of me talking alone with the car on the track. And now we're just sitting in here enjoying the landscape. Do you want anything? A tea, a bottle of water?
I think you enjoy talking to yourself, so I think you did very well.
Yeah, that is completely true. I enjoy talking to myself, but I enjoy more talking to everybody in this circuit in here. I'm very glad you're here with me today.
Thank you.
Tell us something that we don't know yet.
The umbrellas actually help, you know.
The umbrellas are bullshit. You should tan like everybody else. You should fry in the sun like all the marshals around. But in any case, you are the only and the first female driver in this Formula Student Balkans.
I am.
You run the acceleration event the last days.
Yeah.
You completely killed the EV cars in the acceleration event.
Easy enough.
In any case, we're here talking about endurance. Tell us something about the car.
Well, I think as we saw, it was a beast. It was really, it performed really well. I don't know, I haven't spoken to our drivers yet, but I don't know exactly how they feel about the car, but it looked great and it passed scrutineering and we passed everything of FS Balkans, and I think we did very well as a team, and I think we performed.
With flying colors, I would say.
Yeah.
Don't be so Finnish, you can show emotion. I know you're Nordic.
It's gorgeous. I think I think we can all agree that the livery is insane this year. I think it's.
Tell us something about the pilots. Who is your favorite of the two endurance pilots today?
I can't say who my favorite is. I mean, they're both amazing drivers, and
yes, of course you can. And we're expecting you to say it.
No.
We had two drivers today, Benjamin and Lauri, right?
Laura is good. Benko is good. Both are good.
Yeah, but rank them 1 to 2. Otherwise, we will take the timings, do the average, and I know who was the fastest today.
Well, okay. Lauri then Benko.
Okay, thank you very much. We are creating Discord in here in this Formula Student Oulu's team. We just want to create competition, internal and external.
Clearly.
What are your goals for this season? What other competitions are you attending?
We are going to Czechia tomorrow, and we're gonna try and do as best as we can and do as good as we did here.
We're a very small competition in comparison to FS Czech. In there you will have way more competition that you found in here. How are you seeing your chances in there?
We're confident. I think we have a very good car this year, and we need to make some adjustments, but otherwise I think we're pretty good.
The car seems to be working very good. We got feedback from Lauri yesterday, who also ran the second part of the autocross, telling us that the car was behaving wonderfully and that the track was very good. We will have more feedback from him the moment that he finishes with the fueling of the car. But we hope that you enjoyed everything that has been going on in the past few days in here. We hope that you have enjoyed the track and everything around it. And it definitely looked like speed was not an issue for your performance this year.
The speed is never an issue, especially for Lauri. Lauri!
Lauri! We like your speed. Vlada said that you are his favorite driver out of all the team, including herself. So congratulations.
No, I'm first. I'm my favorite driver, and then it's the rest.
Well, potato, potato. You did not say that, but in any case, we will take that as a yes. We have been waiting for you to come to the interview. We have been doing that right now with the car on the track, but now you will have to give us the details on how you saw the performance from the field, taking pictures.
I think from what I saw, we drove. We did very well. We went very steadily and didn't have any major incidents happen.
Any things that you would like to see improving after the performance today in the endurance? Things you did not like?
Not in particular.
That's good. That's good and not good at the same time. You're supposed to be an engineering team, which means that there is always room for progress.
Yes, of course, there's always room for improvement and progress, and it can always be faster. It can always be better, but for now, I think we're set. Or we can't do anything anymore before Czechia, so let's see.
Then best of luck for FS Czech.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here with me. Even if
somebody has to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I got other 3 people to come and talk to me today in this event. They were forced, of course.
They were forced, yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
That's good, but that implies that you are not forced to come here, and I will take that as a win. Thank you very much for this fantastic performance in the Formula Student that you did this year. Thank you very much for being with me, keeping me company in this last part, what we are already picking up the cones of the track.
Where's your FSO hoodie?
I will be negotiating that later on with Pekka, but it was just a landing for yesterday night when we came back to the accommodation. But we will be negotiating that later on. I like the color. It suits better with papaya orange from the judges' t-shirt. And
they're Ferrari red then.
They are Ferrari red, correct. And we are papaya orange. It's completely shameful that the judges have such a shitty color, but you come to like it in time. It's something that you can see from far away.
Yeah, I don't think I can see you in any other shirt but orange. That's all I've seen you in for the past week. And
that's what happens in Formula Student. Orange is the color of the judges, and I'm here to judge and to comment, so you will not see me in any other color rather than orange. In any case, I will see you this evening for the award ceremony and for the secret party. Oh shit, it was supposed to be a secret that everybody knows. Thank you again for being with me.
Thank you.
Thank you for the participation in this event, and we hope to see Oulu next year also in the Formula Balkans, in the Formula Student Balkans competition.
I will be here. Thank you.
And as we see Oulu still in the refueling station, rendering the car safe for the pit lane, we will be closing this replay event for the Formula Student Balkans 2025 Endurance. This is setting a final point, a final full stop to the competition of this week. It's been a fantastic week. We had plenty of fun. We had plenty of cars. We want more cars this next year, of course. 6 participating teams, 4 dynamic event compliant cars, 2 electrical vehicles, 2 combustion vehicles, and we are still waiting for something to happen on the refueling. It's basically very difficult to get the fuel out of the car if you think of that, unless your job is to steal gasoline from parked cars, then it seems to be something that you can do in your sleep and very, very, very quickly. In any case, thank you for being with us. Thank you for following all this event live on the live stream or in replay as we are doing this event today. We had some technical problems this morning on the town. Somebody working on the gas pipe in the town cut the the fiber optic internet cable. So basically all the town has no internet as of this morning. This has been a significant challenge for our first serious live feed event that we are doing ever. I think that all the team in here is very successfully happy about the result that is coming along. We are very, very proud to be able to bring in you such a nice production. And thank you guys for making everything possible. And I don't just mean the media guys, but I also mean Adriana, Madalena, Antonia, Catalin, and everybody else that is making the live feed possible. So you can have the images real time or almost real time. And of course you will have plenty of replay videos throughout the next year until the next Formula Student 2026 competition, for which you are more than happily awaited here. Thank you again to everybody. Thank you to the town of Desh for hosting us in this TNT karting. Thank you to all the volunteers, to all the teams, to everybody that came along in the last few days and make this event possible. And we'll see you next year with more motorsport, more crispy asphalt, and of course, more cones. Have a nice day and see you in 2026.